Professor. It's way too damn early for this recording here. It's 3:33 in the morning. It is the 2nd. It is the last day of class. And, unfortunately, I'll be missing it. No, things have come up, and I have to take care of them. I'm surprised I've lasted this long and taken care of the coursework as much as I can. To let you know, Professor T. And I don't think Professor J knows about it too, because I think I talked about it with her a couple of times. But this hasn't been the greatest semester for me anyway, at least the season itself. I've already had enough stuff happening to me that has affected my behaviors, my thoughts, my feelings, everything. Changes in life can make a sane person very screwed up, especially when the loss of loved ones is involved. During this season, I've lost my mother and my brother. I'm not talking about this particular year. In 2013, my mother died in February, so that's the end of winter right there. 2018, my brother in September of 2018 there, so that's the beginning of winter. Winter time has always been the hardest time for me to get through classes, especially when I'm dealing with all the nervous and mental horsemen that are still parading around in the head. It's not an easy thing to deal with, and it's not an easy thing to talk to the professors about, even after school's ended or during classes. I struggled as best as I could. I tried to bury myself with the material that we've had. I think I got more out of the Greek and Egyptian, not to mention the Romans, than I did anything else. I kept asking myself, was there any reason why we were studying these specifics? Chaos and confusion is all I saw out of every one of them. They're trying to control things, but they couldn't. Much like my own life. There was a lot of things in my life that I could control and tried to control. Well, before my mother passed away, I had worked for a long time. In my youth, my temperate youth, between 19 through 21, I had gone to college. I had taken courses over at Pierce College back in the 80s. I'd seen a lot of changes. I'd seen a lot of things happen. Missed that old campus. I even missed the instructors back then. But I wasn't mentally prepared for any of it. My mother kept saying their grades, and it was well over 2 years that they gave me the academic separation letter. Gave me a probation of 1 year. My mother wasn't going to wait for 1 year. She was either going to get some kind of result out of me one way or another. Either work your ass off for 30 years, or you go homeless and don't deal with me ever again. She was that adamant of a lot of things. I wasn't about to be homeless, so I might as well work my ass off for 30 years in different jobs. Dead-end jobs, but, it's like purgatory for me. Professor, you were focusing more on the inferno of hell and damnation than you were on the people doing purgatory of trying to make good of the things that they've gone through. And I'm more in line with the purgatory than I ever was regarding the hell, because I've already been going through my hell. I've already gone through part of the circles left and right, in one portion or another. So I think Dante and I were on good terms during that time. Not the other smart writing in place. And since I already had my history of being self-destructive and being a narcissistic, egotistical, sorry son of a sea dog, with a touch of megalomania, I'd do it. I wasn't exactly the nicest person on some occasions, and most of the time, it was just an isolated person. It had taken me a lifetime trying to live up more open with a lot of people, especially the latter years of my life. But the earlier years, I wouldn't even like me. But I worked my ass off at different jobs. One of the last jobs I've had was working over at Walmart, and a tire dropped on my face. Put me out of commission permanently. Back, neck. But it also opened up Pandora's box when it comes down for mental health issues. I thought I was already having enough issues right there as it is. And I was dealing with my mother being disabled and practically dying in front of me. My brother was the primary caregiver. I was the secondary and backup, and not to mention the guy who was supposed to be earning a lot of money just to bring it in to help the family out then. No more. Going through life changes of relocation from one place to another place forcefully, shall I say. And it puts a hell of a lot of mental health, a lot of mental strain on a person. I found myself, after relocating to one particular home, current domicile I live in, with my brother. We both decided to go back to college. My brother first, to get his feet wet. I mean, hell, he's been in his late 50s, so he might as well get a shot at it. I'm in my late 40s, so what the hell? We have 8 years difference on each other. He goes through a couple of sessions, actually a couple of semesters, and damn near dies of heart attack. He can't deal with it. I, on the other hand, had been dealing with it, and found out that me and college are still quite compatible, and I still need to complete one thing just to satisfy my own penance with my mother and myself. I've also been an alcoholic of sorts. I'm recovered. I've also seen my brother go through his own hell as well. Quite literally. And before he died, back in 2018, he had 32 years clean and sober. And it's a hell of a thing to help walk him through this. He wasn't alone. There was a lot of people, and not to mention his own higher power helping him out. I suppose Dante never covered that particular portion of purgatory and paradise. And my brother, he's now in paradise. Which leaves me with a hell of a hole in the heart at this point. Dealing with my mother's loss and then dealing with my brother's loss during the time of winter, during this time of season that we're finishing up a class together. It's been a hard time, and it's been a hard season. I know it's going to get even harder every season, but I still have to do this. I'm still willing to do this and complete my education. I don't know how far I've got I don't know how far the road I have. I'm still learning new stuff. Professor, currently at the time of this recording, I am 55 years old. Next month, I'm going to be past the road tread age. I'm going to be past the legal age at this point, I should say. And I still want more. I didn't have this perspective. I didn't have the context. I didn't have the mentality of enjoying what I was going through. No wonder I relate more and more to the students every time they keep coming into new classes, because I can see myself in every single one of them. The ones that you keep asking about if they're going to be responding to you or not, they're trying to respond, but they don't know how to. So I was a little bit more outspoken on some occasions. Simply put, I know how they feel. Well, when you've been going through the road tread anyway, what the hell, you already got the context and perspective. That's me. I'll be looking forward to going into the physical class with you. So we may talk of many more things besides Lewis Carroll's works. But then again, that's Professor J's area right there. Tell her I said hey. As I said before, I do relate well with Dante, but not with hell. Only through the purgatory. Because I'm still going through mine. Whatever I screwed up on, I still have to work through. I don't know if the students can actually look into themselves and actually find that perspective or context. It takes a lot. It takes a lot of experience and a lot of time to even come grasping that. Something in our lifetime, Professor, that we all have to look at. It's scary. The older I get, sometimes it gets a little more scarier. But, I tell you, some days are good days and other days aren't. I can deal with the triggers. I can deal with the pain. I can deal with the loss. And I can try smiling at some of those times, and I can just plow right through. Other days aren't so much. Some people look at the physical disabilities, but they may not understand what lies underneath. And that's what scares the hell out of a lot of us. Because we're not quite sure how to deal with that lies underneath. Neither are we. Neither am I. I don't think I can deal with today. That's why I'm sending this video over to you and the link, and hoping that you'll understand. For some of us, have actually been dealing with a lifetime crushed onto our shoulder blades, squeezed into a very limited capacity. We're expected to function after witnessing things and going through things that have changed us more than what we realize. That's why there was different perspective than what the students have, because the students only lack a small portion of it, unless they've already gone through something that they can actually honestly grasp onto and relate with. You can teach the literature to the students, but they have to draw upon their own experiences and their own context, their own perspective, to really grasp what you're trying to tell them or what you're trying to show them. If they've got the context and perspective necessary, the authors will talk to them. So will the characters. All they gotta do is listen. I have been growing up around books all my life, Professor. I have lost a great library a long time ago. And one of those kind of life-changing moments. But during that time, I had my own Alexandria. I had it. Rest of my hands. I had perused the scrolls handed down by my own great-grandparents and great-great-grandparents. I had touched the knowledge and the intellect, the genius, the imagination, the wonder, the inquisitive. I have grasped it and suckled on it and held on to it tightly. And it was hard as hell to lose it. I wasn't sacked. This is one time, Alexandra, I would lose the library voluntarily. All the limited libraries I've seen and been through didn't match with what I had, I thought. But still. I have yet to peruse our own library on the campus. Wait to hear from the voices again. The authors, the characters. Come to me. Come to me. Let me take you on the journey. Let me take you somewhere that you haven't been to before. I look in the sky, Professor, and I see a Cheshire cat. I can see a gibbous moon turning into a crescent moon. And I'm seeing a Cheshire cat smiling at the same time. That's not madness. Or maybe it is. But I've lived with books for a long time. Now everything's digital. And it adds to the eyesight problems. The more I constantly keep looking at damn computer screens, the more my eyes can't even focus even on print, even on paper. No wonder I prefer the audio these days. At least I can still listen to it. For right now. Well, enough of my perusing and putting you through the Underland journey there. I hope the Mad Hatter wasn't too unkind to you. But I will see you next term. And hopefully by that time we're allowed to shake hands. Maybe fist bump. Hopefully we can see each other without a damn mask on. It's been a real honor. It's been a real pleasure. And sorry I had to record this in the middle of the morning, but actually early in the morning. It's just, I'm not exactly good at goodbyes like this, especially when I know I'm going to be seeing you next term. And if this upsets you a little bit here, get over it. It's been an honor, Scott. Yeah, I'm sorry. That was a different professor's name, and then he went over there. I just threw a monkey wrench in the thing. I'm just having one of those mornings. You take care. Get more coffee down your system. You'll need it.